a profound statement from a father, and an emotional bond that has long remained untouched by the public. Is this a sign of cracks in a strength that has long supported BTS from behind the scenes? Shocking news has rocked the BTS fan community, ARMY, coming from an unexpected direction. Jungkook, a figure long known for his resilience, extraordinary stage performance, and emotional composure, was reported to have experienced such a deep emotional moment that he broke down in tears in a closed room. But it wasn't just Jungkook's reaction that drew attention. Even more surprising was a statement from a figure who had almost never appeared in public, Jimin's father. In a private interview that leaked to Korean internal media, Jimin's father finally spoke out about the emotional closeness between his son and Jungkook, as well as the situation said to be the trigger for the mental collapse of BTS's Golden Magne. I saw something in Jungkook's eyes that I had never seen before. It wasn't just exhaustion. It was deep sorrow, said the father softly, as quoted from a trusted source. What really happened between Jungkook and Jimin that compelled a father to step in with a personal statement? This question now dominates discussions among fans and even South Korean entertainment industry observers. Initial reports say Jungkook appeared devastated after receiving a personal message from Jimin's father. The incident occurred privately at a HYB personal training facility, shortly after Jimin began his initial phase of military training. According to an internal source involved in HYB artist logistics, Jungkook received a handwritten letter allegedly delivered by military staff who interacted directly with Jimin. The contents of the letter were never released to the public, but the effect was immediate. Jungkook wept and refused to speak to anyone for 2 full days. Internal recordings indicate that after receiving the letter, Jungkook isolated himself and uttered a short sentence that reflected his inner turmoil. "I feel like I lost a part of myself," he whispered to one of HYB's team managers, according to internal reports. There has been no clarification on the context of these words, but interpretations among staff point toward the deep bond between him and Jimin. Jimin's father's statement only reinforces what has long been rumored among fans, that the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook goes beyond professionalism. They were never just colleagues. Jimin saw Jungkook as his own younger brother. They shared pain, responsibilities, and hopes. "That's why I felt compelled to speak when I saw what Jungkook was going through," the father revealed. ARMY's responses vary, from those voicing full support for Jungkook's mental health, to others questioning why such a statement surfaced while both members are serving in the military. Online communities have begun speculating that unresolved emotional conflict may exist. Some even mention the possibility of an emotional separation or growing distance due to military pressure and the uncertain future of the group. Even more striking is the indirect confession by Jimin's father that his son has been under heavy pressure leading up to his military service. Jimin is a very sensitive and loving child. "I know he must have written something important to Jungkook, because they never really got to say goodbye the way they wanted to," he said. This statement sparks interpretations that Jimin's letter likely contained an emotional confession or apology, possibly acknowledging the pressure he personally felt during the group's promotion period. This is believed to be the trigger for Jungkook's long-suppressed emotions that in the tightly controlled world of K-pop. A personal statement from a family member, especially one so emotional, is a rare and meaningful event. Many observers believe that Jimin's father's actions are not only a form of empathy, but also a signal that something deeper is happening within BTS's internal dynamics. The Korean media analyst, Park Hyun-suk, stated that this is one of the most emotional and unexpected moments in BTS history. When a father feels the need to speak out to soothe the wounds of a child who is not his own blood, it signifies a depth of relationship that can't be described by the word friendship. This isn't just about Jungkook and Jimin, but the collective burden carried by BTS members. Now, with Jungkook on full rest and Jimin still serving in the military, the public can only wait for further clarity. HYB Entertainment did release a statement saying Jungkook is taking personal time and will not appear for a while, but so far, no official statement has addressed the contents of the letter or details of Jungkook's interaction with Jimin's family. What's certain is that this emotional fracture is not the result of an ordinary dispute. Some analysts even suggest that Jimin's father's statement may be part of an emotional healing process for all BTS members, who for over a decade have been under constant pressure as national symbols of South Korea on the global stage. Is this the beginning of an emotional restructuring within BTS? Or could this moment instead deepen the members' bonds even further? One thing is clear, The narrative of strength, brotherhood, and sacrifice in BTS is now entering a new chapter. No longer just about flawless choreography or dazzling stages, but about real life behind the spotlight. Jungkook's tears, Jimin's letter, and a father's long silent voice all become part of a profoundly human and stirring story. Now the public can only wonder, will there be a publicized emotional reconciliation? Or will this story remain a hidden part of the lives of these seemingly unshakable superstars? ARMY and the entire world are still waiting for the answer. Are we truly witnessing an authentic emotional story between Jungkook and Jimin? Or are we being drawn into a narrative deliberately shaped to invite sympathy and public attention? This question becomes inevitable after what is called the most emotional moment in BTS's inter-member relationship history spreads widely across social media channels. The story of Jungkook's tears tied to a personal letter from Jimin and the shocking public statement from Jimin's father has indeed stirred the emotions of many fans. But in a situation where information spreads without verified structure, the public must ask, did all this really happen? Or is it just a narrative crafted for specific interests? In recent weeks, short video clips, dramatic narratives, and emotionally charged posts have flooded platforms like TikTok, Twitter, now X, and YouTube. These posts appear to form a pattern, steering viewers' emotions toward the conclusion that Jungkook is in a fragile mental state, triggered by a personal relationship with Jimin that is strained or under trial. But can these sources be used as a basis to conclude the truth of an event? Criticism of information validity. As of this article's writing, no official documentation, whether in the form of a written statement from Jimin's family or BTS's agency, HYB Entertainment, has explicitly confirmed the narrative. The sources used in these reports tend to be anonymous, unverified, or come from platforms with low accuracy. Some video clips claimed to be proof of Jungkook's crying have even been confirmed as old footage reused out of context. In today's digital era, we live amid an explosion of information. Any event can be manipulated, cut, or edited to form a story that feels authentic. But does emotional mean factual? This is an important question to consider. Why would a father, who for years avoided the media, suddenly appear with a deep, emotional narrative, and at the very time when both artists are on break and military duty? Is there a hidden motive behind the timing of this information's emergence? Or could this simply be the result of public overinterpretation of a personal interaction that may not be dramatic at all? Sensationalism versus reality. Why we must stay alert. It's important to realize that the entertainment industry, including K-pop, is not entirely free from emotionally driven marketing strategies. In many cases, personal narratives are used to build deeper connections between artists and their fans. Thus, the next critical question arises. Was this story deliberately crafted to maintain BTS's relevance during the group's activity vacuum due to military service? Do you, as viewers and fans, believe that Jungkook's tears and Jimin's letter are not part of a narrative constructed by certain parties to keep the group alive in public discourse? Or are we witnessing a truly heartfelt moment that deserves empathy? This is not just about believing or disbelieving a piece of news, but about how we believe it. Are we merely riding the emotional wave and letting ourselves be swept up by viral narratives? Or are we beginning to ask, who first spread this news? What evidence supports it? What is the motive behind spreading this information?